Top Sports Talk presented to you by Top Sports News. I'm one of your hosts, as always, Caleb Jenneret. Next to me is my co-host, also, as always, the famous Isaac Deer. Isaac, how are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm doing just fine. Oh man, spring sports is kind of winding down a little bit, honestly. Late April, taxes are done. Good for me. Got them done at the last second, the buzzer beater. I got it done. I got the walk off, but taxes are done. Life's good. But yeah, it's a little sad that this stuff's kind of coming to an end, but not quite yet. We have a lot of games left to cover, a lot of teams left to cover. I'm excited, man. But yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Do it. Before we get started, I always want to thank our gold sponsors, Invista Credit Union and the Family Guidance Center and the University of Kansas Health System St. Francis campus for continuing to sponsor Top Sports News. Also, as every week, we want to shout out the ticker, put in scores, stats, results, distance, times, anything you want. Anything you want. You put it in there for any sport. It's super easy. Just go to the website, you'll figure it out. All right. So we're going to start off with softball, and starting it off with Shawnee Heights softball as they roll to a pair of 15-0 UKC shutouts over Leavenworth.
Yeah, a doozy day for Leavenworth. It was a very windy day at Lake Shawnee, but pretty much a perfect day for Shawnee Heights. I included it in my story. If you haven't seen my story, you should check it out because the first couple of paragraphs are hilarious. Because I said it's pretty much a perfect day for Shawnee Heights. The only thing that went wrong is that an outfielder for Shawnee Heights was hit with bird poop. But that's it. That's the only thing that went wrong for Shawnee Heights that whole day. Uh, and I put it was bird on bird crime, by the way, because yeah, funny, yeah, no, yeah, exactly, but yeah, it was perfect. Besides that, and they took some tough losses the week before, to Mill Valley, Baser, Linwood, those teams. It created kind of a small losing streak for them, but it wasn't really a problem for them. I know they took it and made something good out of it. After these two wins against Leavenworth later on in the week, they had to play Lawrence, and I think they split that series, so not bad at all. Sophomore Grace Proctor, she continues to kind of wow everybody. Pitched a no-hitter in the first game of the doubleheader. It was 8 strikeouts, giving up 1 walk. She was basically a hit by pitch and walk away from a perfect game. Leavenworth wasn't coming close to making much out of what she was throwing that night. So Grace Proctor dominated. Carlin Bowman, Jr. She had quite the day as well. That would be an understatement. Carlin Bowman, I think she played it in a combined 10 total runs. In the first game, went 1 of 2. I think the rest were walks. So even in 4 innings, because that was the 4-inning first game, 4-inning second game, because it was just so dominant and so quick. But she had, I think, 4 RBIs in the first game. She had the walk-off 2-run single. And in the second game, she had 6 RBIs actually in the second contest. She went 3 for 4, 2-run home run that was just way gone. It was Shohei Ohtani at that center field wall. It was gonzo. But not just Carlin Bowman and Grace Proctor. Everybody contributed. Wasn't just 2 people. Obviously, if you get 2 15-0 shutouts, 4 innings apiece, pretty much identical games, that's not just 2 people. And I have a full list of names and who contributed to what in the story. But yeah, it was just flat out dominant by Shawnee Heights. Kind of expected, and I expect them to kind of do big things going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to, spoiler alert, talking about them a little bit later as well. But our team we've been talking about all year, and we're going to continue to talk about for a long time because they're not only one of the best teams in Shawnee County, but they are one of the best teams in the state with Silver Lake as they stayed undefeated this past week. The Eagles advanced to 12-0 with Mid-East League doubleheader sweeps of Riley County and St. Mary's.
Yeah. We were just talking about Shawnee Heights kind of having those blowouts and being quick. Yeah, Silver Lake's just, they're just rolling through everybody as of recently. They had 4 games last week with Riley County and St. Mary's. They outscored those 2 teams 48-7. So try that. That's pretty good, I'd say. They didn't complete one single full game um, on those contests. I think maybe they might have one 7 inning game, but they were up by like 9 runs or I could be way wrong on that. I just know that they just ran through everybody. But yeah, Avery Wendy, Kendra Cook, we talk about them quite a bit. One of the best 1-2 punches in really in the entire Class 3A. They both earned 2 wins each last week. Kaylin Haney, McKinley Kruger, Taylor Zordel at least had one performance that was they had at least a 3 RBI game. But yeah, no, they're just rolling through everybody, complete team. They're in the media rankings, they're number one, and number one in 3A, and they get to face number one in 4A on Tuesday night with Wamego coming into town, and that will be a powerful doubleheader, and I'm pretty pumped to go cover that. I'm very excited to see what two of the state's finest are able to do, and Wamego really hasn't been touched this year, nor has Silver Lake. So I think that will be a perfect match for both teams. I imagine they're looking for some great competition as we're nearing the end of the season. So yeah, that'll be a great matchup. If you don't have any plans on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, go down 24 and go see Silver Lake play Wamego. It'll be a good one.
Mm-hmm. And then another really good team that we've talked about all year, and we're going to continue to talk about, is Washburn Rural, as they rolled to a 14-4 and 10-0 sweep over a good Seaman team.
Yeah, and Seaman's record is a little bit deceiving with the 6-6. And Washburn Rural's, I think, just that good. They're proving to be one of the top teams in 6A once again. Stacked absolutely from top to bottom. 1 through 9 defensively, Washburn Rural's been pretty much a perfect team this year. And then they have a great 1-2 starting duo in the circle as well with Emerson Cope and Piper Titsworth. With Piper, we saw flashes and sparks of what she could do last year, and now she's really definitely coming in her own. I think that's big time, especially this year with all the hopes and aspirations that they do have, especially with the tournament. And, with Emerson, I mean, it's a gimme. We talk about her every week. Everybody talks about Emerson. When Kansas softball comes up, you got to talk about her. She's one of the most dominant, not just pitchers in the state, but players in the state. When she's batting as well, she's one of the top hitters. She's one of the top pitchers. Just one of the most complete players in all classes in the entire state. But really, the crazy thing about this game, their defense was great. Obviously, I think you said 14-4, 10-0. Defense was great, but man, Washburn Rural, they had a lot of hard hit balls that game. Emerson Cope, Reagan Chapman, Nadia Wetch, Layla Collins all went yard. They all each had a home run, and they were just hitting the snot out of the ball the other day. But yeah, great couple of wins for Washburn Rural, and I know Seaman's going to bounce back from a couple tough losses.
Mm-hmm. And then that's all we got for softball. Moving on to track. As we promised last week, it's time to talk about the massive Kansas Relays meet. We'll talk about some of the top county performers from the Kansas Relays from a week ago. And we're going to start it off with the girls, and then we're going to finish it out with the boys.
Yeah, let's do that. And I think that right away we got to start out with Hayden. Natalie Hillibert, she ran a 58.65 second 400-meter dash on the Friday. I think it was Friday as prelims for the 800-meter, and she broke a Hayden school record that hadn't been touched since 1986. She broke Laura Sargent's previous record of 58.9 on the 400-meter dash time. So big congratulations to Natalie for breaking that record that hasn't been touched in a while. And I feel bad for all our 30-plus-year-old audience that's saying that it's a vintage old school record, but it's got to get to that time. But yeah, it hasn't been touched in a very long time. So congratulations to her. The 400-meter dash is just a monster event. I mean, it's a hard race to run. So that's big props to her on that. For Seaman, Bethany Drews, she took an 8th place finish out of like a gazillion people in the 800-meter dash. Allie Trier for Seaman. She's a senior as well. She took a top 20 finish in the javelin, finishing in 17th place. And then the 4x8 team for Seaman as well took an 11th overall finish. So great showing there from the Northwest Topeka Vikings. Washburn Rural, their girls distance medley relay team took a 4th place finish. I think it was out of 27 teams in the final. And Reagan Peterson, she took a 13th place finish in the discus for Washburn Rural, and Madeline Carter, kind of a really, really good distance runner in the city. She took a top 25 finish in the 1600-meter, finishing in 23rd. And then when you think about any of the other top performers in the county, Mackenzie Jones from Topeka West, she took a 6th place finish in the high jump. You know, she's the ultimate jumping machine. So doing well there, 6th place. That's pretty good stuff. But yeah, the girls did really, really well in the county, as did the boys. And we got to start out with Hayden again, with Jensen Schrickle, who had a really nice weekend. Took an 8th place finish in the 400-meter. He also took a 9th place finish in the long jump, so very versatile there. The 4x1 team took a 14th place finish for Hayden. Jake Moeller, senior basketball. We know him as basketball guy, but he's also a big time track guy. He took an 8th place finish in the 300 hurdles. In Tecumseh, Shawnee Heights, Tecumseh, whatever you prefer. I don't really know, to be honest. I hear so many different things.
Tecumseh. Yeah.
What do you
goes
call it?
both ways, I think.
What do you call it?
I've always said Tecumseh.
That sounds right, but I
don't know,
hear
it's Google Translate.
Tecumseh sounds right to me, but I just don't want to.
We're gonna get our final answer right here. Tecumseh. It's an English word.
Yeah. Tecumseh. Is that Google? Does that Google Translate or Siri?
Google Translate.
Tecumseh. Okay. All right. So Tecumseh. There we go. The Tecumseh Thunderbirds. Jackson Esquivel. He finished 13th place for Shawnee Heights. I think that was in the 1 mile. And Lenny Narogi from Topeka West was right behind him in 16th place. They also both, Esquivel and Narogi, raced in the 2 mile as well. Esquivel took a 14th place finish, and Narogi finished in 18th. Two of the top distance runners in the entire county. 1600 meter and 3200 meter. Those two are the best at what they do. The Topeka High boys team took a 6th place finish in the 4x1 relay finals. So that's huge. That's a big event as well. Washburn Rural's boys distance medley team took a 15th place finish. Topeka West Alice Esco Batson, he took a 3rd place finish in the triple jump. And Highland Park's Trey Richardson, talk about him a lot, he finished 4th in the triple jump as well. So a lot of track that happened last week at Kansas Relays, and I haven't even mentioned the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands and millions and billions in the prelims. So yeah. Lot of good stuff there from the racers and the throwers and the jumpers and am I missing something? I don't even know. We don't do steeplechase very much, but the steeplechasers, the crowd pleasers, whatever you may call them. Mm-hmm. But congratulations to everybody. You all rock.
Yes. Then moving on to baseball, where the Vikings from Seaman rallied from a 3-0 deficit for a 5-3 non-league win over Tonganoxie.
Huge win there for Seaman. They were down 3-0, ended up taking a 5-3 win over a Tonganoxie team that is very good. Seaman gets their record up to 11-2 on the season, and Tonganoxie was the 4A state runner-up last year, and they're still a very, very good team. So that was a big-time win. We expect those big-time wins from Seaman, no matter who they have on the roster, just because of who they are and what their culture and their identity and everything is, what that program is. But, the win didn't take one or two different people, especially when you have to rally and, they were down 3-0, end up winning 5-3. It was like an assembly line. David Dobbs, Briar Finley, Gabe Hernandez, Caden Griffin, Holden Finley, Max Huston, many, many more kind of had their hand in the pie in the win. But Seaman leads the entire Class 5A in strikeouts per game with 8.4. They're second in the state in runs scored per game with 9.5. They're also fifth in the state in team ERA as well with 2.11. So I mean, they're all around great. These wins aren't unheard of necessarily, but it's still a very impressive win against a very good Tonganoxie team. So yeah, I think Siemens definitely earning the respect, and this year they haven't disappointed in any way. They're just rolling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you didn't know, Siemens has a pretty good baseball team for a lot of years now. Silver Lake baseball continues to win with the softball team as they've extended their win streak to 10 with an enormous sweep over Riley County.
Yeah, 16-1, 15-0 victories. I mean, it's not a bad night at the ballpark at all for Silver Lake. And yeah, I think I put it in my story, like it was anticlimactic in the biggest sense, but it was very, very satisfactory for Silver Lake. The opening 16-1 victory, 4 different Eagle batters had multi RBI games. Tanner Martin for Silver Lake, he went 3 for 3 with 4 RBIs. Corbin Forgy, Brody Renfro had a couple RBIs each. Cooper Campidelli also had 2 RBIs. Dyson Schooler, Elijah Barnes, Jack Seeley, Grant Spear each had an RBI in that first game. Kind of translated over to the second game, obviously, with the 15-0 win. What was really impressive to me was Logan Cathcart. He's a sophomore pitcher for Silver Lake. The last time he pitched, he threw a no-hitter. That went 6 innings. He threw 7 strikeouts. So it wasn't a perfect game, but it was a no-hitter. But that was the game before against Wabaunsee in the win. And then this game against Riley County, he only pitched 3 innings, but still impressive. 3 innings against Riley County, didn't give up any hits in that. So that's technically 2 no-hitters in a row. So that's always super impressive. But and I think that later on in the week, they extended their win streak to 11, but lost a pretty close game against a really good Wamego baseball team. So, I mean, 11 out of your last 12 games, and really your only losses of the year are 2 losses to Hayden, 1 against Wamego. So Silver Lake baseball is really, really looking good this year. And I think they're in really good hands, especially down this stretch.
Yeah, for sure. And then despite 2 otherworldly innings from Manhattan, Washburn Rural played Manhattan close and well in their games.
Yeah, and I think so. I really do think so. I think, the first 4 innings of the game for Washburn Rural, honestly, the first 5 innings were anybody's game. Washburn Rural played particularly well defensively in the first 4 innings. Zach Sharshall, he looked great. Nothing out of this world. We expect Zach Sharshall to be a really good pitcher, and that's what he is. 4 innings. In the first 4 innings, he had 4 strikeouts, no runs, only walked a batter. Offensively, Washburn Rural had its woes early on, really the whole game, but they picked it up in the bottom of the 5th. They had a couple of runs that they added. Kyle Walker for Washburn Rural, the shortstop, he looked extremely good. He was 2 for 3 at the plate with a couple doubles and an RBI. Kyle Walker is one of my favorite athletes at all sports in the entire county to watch. He's just super fast, base to base. He's a great defender, great hitter. I think he's going to Barton as well. He's just a straight dude. He could play baseball with the best of them. He's fun. Caleb Welshier looked really good. Ty Weber, Aiden Ray, Brayton DeWeese. They all had hits. They look great. And defensively, towards the end, Manhattan was not. It wasn't just luck. Manhattan, they put up 3 runs in the 5th inning, and then they put 15 runs in the 6th. So obviously, it wasn't just luck for Manhattan, and they played really good. But it started out with a bloop here, an error here, and Manhattan just went one by one. They just went next man up, next man up, next man up. And before you know it, with the little mistakes that Washburn Rural made, Manhattan just had some big explosive hard hits, extra base hits, a couple home runs, and it just what was a 3-2 game in the fifth inning became 18-2 was the final, and it was just it was a rough couple innings for Washburn Rural, but um those first four innings you can really take a lot from that and move forward, um and try to learn from those mistakes that you had near the end against Manhattan, which I think they'll do. But Manhattan undefeated. I think they're, if they're not number one, they're at least top two or top three of the best teams in Class 6A. They're the best run scoring team in the Class 6A. Manhattan's legit. They won the Centennial League Championship later in the week, sweeping Emporia. But I think Washburn will definitely learn a lot. Yes, they're in a bit of a funk, but baseball is all about streaks, sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse. So anybody's due at any given day. So we'll see how long this slump lasts and see if they can snap out of it.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last sport we're going to talk about before we get to everybody's favorite segment is soccer. A few soccer teams in the county made it look easy last week. Seaman had a week of work last week that they surely won't forget for a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, easy lemon squeezy. Yeah, 2 games last week. They played, I think they had a combined 2 halves of play. Well, they played one half one game, one half the other. They beat Turner 14-0. They got 14 goals in the first half. I haven't seen anything like that in quite a while, Caleb, or ever. Few days later, no biggie. They just beat Junction City 10-0 there too. So yeah, 2 games, 24 goals, didn't allow a single goal, 2 shutouts. That's yeah, that's I really don't know what to say about that. That's one of
Pretty
the
good.
most insane things I've heard. But um yeah, that takes everybody. That you can't do that with one person. 24 goals, that's a lot of damage from a lot of different cleats. So I mean, um man, I feel bad for the defenders of the other teams. Oh, that's I don't know what to say about that. That's just uh, crazy. But congratulations for Seaman. I think they've only had one loss this year. They are really just humming. And I think they got a tough test with DeSoto this week, and which should be interesting on Wednesday. So we'll see. Or I think that might be Thursday. Thursday night, they'll play DeSoto. But yeah, that's rough. That's rough for the other two teams with 24-0 in 2 games. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, for sure. And then Cara Paravel also made quick work of its opponents this week.
Yep. They had an easy week as well. 10-0 wins last week. They kicked off the week 10-0 win over Kansas City Christian. Ended the week with a 10-zip win over Bishop Ward. I think that's their second win over Bishop Ward this year. Care Paravel really hasn't missed a beat since last year. They're one of the top teams in 4 through 1A right now. Every game it seems like you have one or two players that have multiple goal games or multiple assist games. You see shutouts left and right. That backline Care Paravel has is just so good. Their strikers, Zara Fries, Catherine Keys, and many more are also very good. And I think Care Paravel is them making quick work of these opponents. It's every week. It took them a while to find their rhythm in the beginning. Not a while. It took them a couple games to find their rhythm early in the year, but they've been rock solid, and they're definitely one of the top teams in 4 through 1A right now.
Yeah, for sure. And then wrapping it up with Hayden, who started the week off with a 10-0 win over Junction City before a 4-1 loss to St. James Academy at the end of the week.
That was good for Hayden too, because you look back to last week, they had a couple of really heartbreaking 1-0 losses, back-to-back games, with McPherson and Washburn Rural. But Hayden, I mean, bounced back in the best way possible with a 10-0 win over a Centennial League rival with Junction City. So with Hayden, I think that was good. They ended the week with a tough loss against St. James. St. James really also a really good team. But Hayden and Topeka High face each other on tomorrow or today, Monday
Mhm.
night. Um, they play each other. Uh, God, I keep messing myself up. We're recording on Sunday night. Tomorrow's Monday.
Yes.
They play tomorrow night.
Yep.
That'll be fun because Topeka High is looking uh kind of to bounce back from a little bit of funk from missing some players and injuries. That's been their biggest um woe this year for Topeka High has been injuries. So once they get some people back, but I think Hayden and Topeka High will even out really well, and I think that'll be a really fun matchup tomorrow night. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be there, so this should be fun. It's always a party when I'm around, but yes. Um, yeah, let's soccer. We got a lot of great soccer in the city. Got a lot of great other sports. Every sport has been great this year.
Mm.
But we got to get to our favorite segment, Caleb. We do.
Oh, of course. Of course. All right. Well, let's get to it.
Okay, let's do it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, all right. I get one win last week. That's my only win I'm ever gonna have again.
You're not
So
gonna
all
win
right,
this week.
here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, okay. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh,
All
oh,
right.
every time. You got to build up the drama. Got to get those clicks, buddy. Got to get the likes, the subscribers. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh,
Got him.
okay.
Got him. Back on track. Don't worry.
Got
The
me.
champ is here. All right. Here we go. Number 5. Briar Finley from Seaman Baseball. Briar Finley came in relief in the 5th inning and shut out the Chieftains from Tonganoxie over the final 3 innings to pick up the win and complete the rally over a really, really good team. So shout out to Seaman and shout out to Briar. You just made my list.
my my number 5. Made me giggle. The pause made me giggle. All right, my number 5. We're gonna go to Silver Lake, where Tanner Martin plays the game of baseball, and he is very good at it. QB1 during the fall. The opening game, the opening 16-1 victory, Tanner Martin went 3 for 3, 4 RBI. He was extremely impressive at the plate. Now on the mound as well. He got some pitches in. Man, he looks solid. So Tanner Martin, congratulations. You just made the list.
Congratulations. Congratulations. My number 4. We're going over to Hayden. Going over to the pitch. Is that what it's called for the soccer field? The pitch. Reese Husher. Freshman Reese Husher registered a 3-goal hat trick for the Hayden Wildcats in the 10-0 win over Junction City. Congratulations, Reese. You just made my list.
Coincidentally, I'm going to talk about a hat trick next as well. We're going to go with the Northwest Topeka Seaman Vikings. Marin Schuler, second time, I think, on my Fave 5 this year. She led the way with the hat trick in the 14th zip win against Turner. 14 goals in the first half. Marin Schuler had 3 of them. Takes everybody. Yes, I know. But man, she obviously had a big piece of that win. So I just want to congratulate Marin Schuler by putting her on the Fave 5 list here.
Congratulations. Congratulations. My number 3, Cooper Grace from Hayden. Grace posted a complete 5-hit victory while striking out 7 batters against Washburn Rural. Offensively, Grace contributed 2 hits, including a double, and scored 3 runs, getting it done on both sides of the field, I guess is what you would say there. Both sides.
Of the at the plate on the
Yeah,
bunt,
both. Well,
something on at both
you get what I mean. You get what I mean.
baseball. Yeah.
Congratulations. You made the list.
I feel like I've put it in my story before. I'm just trying to think of what term I have. I'm just trying to think of what I use. So
Both sides of the
ball,
field.
baseball,
Both ends of the play.
bat,
Both
the
both sides of play.
turf, dirt. Yeah, both ends of the
Offense,
turf, dirt.
defense.
Hmm.
Hmm.
All right, so we're gonna go to my number 3. Uh, All right, we're going to talk about some track where Natalie Hillibert from Hayden broke a record that was before dinosaurs walked on this planet. 1986, folks.
You just made a
We're
lot of
going
people
back in
mad.
time, baby. We're going back in time. 1986. Oh man, what a time to be alive. She broke a record that was back in that day that hadn't been touched. 58.65 seconds in the 400-meter dash in the prelims at the Kansas Relays last, I guess, 2 weeks ago, Friday. But yeah, that was a old record. She broke it. It's hers now. It's the new record.
Mm-hmm.
See if she can re-break it. But yeah, congratulations, Natalie. You just made the list.
Moving on to my number 2, who's been on the list before. You know him, Zara Freeze. In only 40 minutes, Zara Freeze had 4 goals and 4 assists for Care Paravel in the 10-0 win over Kansas City Christian. Congratulations, you just made the list again.
Yeah, she's one of the best, man. Zara's been great this year. 4 goals and 4 assists in only 40 minutes of play. That's impressive. That's good stuff.
Pretty legit. Pretty legit.
Say so. Hayden, we're sticking with Hayden again on my number 2 spot, and we're sticking with the same sport as well. Jensen Schrickle, one of the top athletes in the entire county. Jensen Schrickle took an 8th place finish in the 400-meter dash. Took a 9th place finish in the long jump at the Kansas Relays. Dude is a stud. Great on the gridiron. Great at track. Jensen Schrickle's a fun watch, but had to put him on the list here. He gets my number 2 spot. So congratulations, Jensen. If you're watching, if you're listening, you just made the list.
Congratulations. Congratulations. My number 1 spot. Talked about her already. Shawnee Heights, softball field, Carlin Bowman. 10 RBIs in 2 games. That is 1-0 against Leavenworth. 4 in the first game, including a walk-off 2-run single, and 6 in game 2, where she went 3 for 4, including a powerful 2-run shot that soared right over deep center field. Congratulations, Carlin. You just made a list.
You just know those no doubters. Like when you're watching a baseball or softball game where it like leaves the bat and you just know, like, yeah, that's gone. I as soon as it left her bat, I started putting home run in my sheet. I didn't even look at it. I was just like, yeah, that one's gone. I mean, I saw that bright yellow piece of cheese go way over center field. I was like, yeah, that sucker's, yeah, I ain't coming back. And good luck finding that. That's what the fishies over
Still
in
going.
Yeah, that
Hasn't,
fell.
hasn't came down yet.
No, that could be in Clinton Lake for Lawrence as well, as far as I know. It could have passed Lake Shawnee. That could have went way over. Yeah, that sucker was gone. You know what's hilarious? We're gonna go to my number 1 spot. Same team, same sport. Shawnee Heights T-Birds. We've got to go with Grace Proctor on this one. One of the best in the business in the entire county at just being a sophomore. So that's pretty cool. In that game, well, in the doubleheader in the first game, tossed a very convincing no-hitter against Leavenworth, 8 strikeouts, and nobody was coming close to touching what she was throwing. After game, she told me the curveball was worked best for her. The drop balls were pretty good, and I think that's an understatement. I thought the drop balls were perfect. But Grace was really just a walk and a hit pitch away from being perfect. She's been one of the top performers in the county in softball, one of the tops in 5A for sure. And she's doing some great work with the T-Birds, and she's part of the reason why they are seeing some success this year. And she was great as a freshman last year, and she's really proven herself as an up and coming superstar. So Grace Proctor, congratulations. You are number 1 on my Fave 5 list.
Congratulations. Congratulations to everybody we talked about today. But we will be back next week, as always, with another episode of Top Sports Talk. Once again, as we said earlier, remember to like this video, remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and comment down below something you want to tell us. I don't care if it's mean. I'd rather it not be, but If you think we can work on something, let us know and we'll be better. We're
Tell us
better
your
for you.
tell us your feelings. Tell us
Yes.
what we need
Open
to
up. Open
open
up.
up. We're here. We're
Be
not
honest.
we're not licensed, but we're good listeners. We're really
Mhm.
good listeners. The show says that we do nothing but talk, but I'd say that we're better listeners than talkers.
That's what I
Uh,
think. That's what I think.
it's kind of what my shtick is listening to people. But yeah, please comment your feelings, but please subscribe so I can sleep tonight. Please, for the love of all that is good. If you don't subscribe, I'm never sleeping again. So,
Hey,
or
maybe we get to 100 subscribers before the end of spring sports.
maybe we can do something special.
Maybe. What are we
Yeah,
at now? By
80
the time you're
something.
watching this, I might be up higher, but we are currently at 86 subscribers. So I mean, just go tell all your 14 friends
Yeah,
that subscribe or make 14 different accounts and subscribe them all to Top Sports News and we'll be at 100. So
we are an official award-winning talk
we
show too.
are.
So if you feel like that 14 different accounts um would benefit me and benefit Caleb, which I
Mhm.
think it would. You don't have to, but we know there's 200 to 400 people watching our episodes each. So I mean, if you do the math, that means please
Most of
subscribe.
you aren't subscribed.
Yeah, but that means please do. But if you don't, it's okay as long as you're
It is.
watching. That's all that really matters. And but just know I am going to eat. I can't go without eating because I do love my food. But I'm never going to sleep again. So that's at your hands. You press the button. Are you going to subscribe and let me get a good 6 to 8 hours? Or I don't know. I think I'm overthinking this. Just watch it, and if you enjoy it, sweet. If you don't like it, please come back for another week, and we'll try to make you feel better the next
Mhm.
episode.
We're always trying to sell our product.
Yeah,
And
I'm not that. Yeah,
the way you buy it is by subscribing. And it's free. They don't
everything.
actually buy it. So
Yeah,
you're just getting it. You're just getting the content every week.
yeah, man.
It's
Yeah,
not hard.
yeah.
Just one button, one click.
That's it.
That's all I'm saying. That's
Oh,
all I'm saying.
I'm looking at the clock right now. And it says 11:17, so we might be in our feels because it's a little late at night. But honestly, the subscribing stuff, I mean, you can do what you want. Or honestly, you could you could send us like a burger or something, or like
Good.
a drink or milkshake or something.
Good.
You could do something. Right? I ain't gonna be mad, but
I ain't complaining.
no. Hey, if you follow us on Twitter, if you want to give us a follow on the tweet machine too, that'd
Hey,
also be.
sad day on Twitter. Lost my verification this past week.
You're telling me you don't have a million followers and Elon's not going to give you the automatic Twitter blue?
Nope. Nope. I can't believe it.
Welcome to the unverified club, sir. It's
The day before it said I was
you're a notable
noteworthy.
you
I was
were
noteworthy.
you were a legacy account, notable, noteworthy, award-winning journalist, and now you're just an unverified award-winning journalist. So
Mhm.
tough day to be in the unverified award-winning journalist club.
It is a tough day.
I love showing off. I could say that now.
Mhm.
Doesn't it's great, but I just like to say it just because. Yeah, why not? You
Why
could
not?
say, yeah.
It's true.
I'm. It's not for. Couldn't have. We couldn't have done it without you, the future subscriber to this
Yes.
channel.
Yes.
Yes, yes, we
All
love you.
right. Well, we will be back next week with more content. But until then, we'll see you later.